I can see it still. It's soft and craggy boglands, it's tall majestic hills, where the ocean kisses Ireland and the waves caress its shore. Oh, the feeling it came over me to stay forevermore, forevermore. From its rolling coastal waters I can see Croagh Patrick's Peak, where one Sunday every summer the pilgrims climbed the reek, where St. Patrick in its solitude looked down across Clough, and with the ringing of his bell called the faithful there to pray, there to pray.
You're all very welcome. Ahar Stefan, a Cahirla, Krishna Hundawio, Aroni, Corla Conacta, Lup Naman Commercial Cha, Rina Ushla, G. Evans Falshig Lear, Higan Okade Special to Shaw Favrat, Common Lucas Gale Ballyhaunis. Father Stephen, Chairman of the Mayo County Board, Mr. Liam Moffat, Secretary of the Connacht Council, Mr. John Prenti, distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good evening everyone and welcome to Ballyhaunis GAA as we launch our monster fundraising draw to finance our exciting and ambitious plans for the next few years, 2022 to 2026, to improve the facilities and the infrastructure here at the club grounds. And thanks to everyone for taking the time and the effort to come along this evening and to show your support. Unfortunately, due to circumstances outside of our control, the President of the GAA, Mr. Larry McCarthy, is unable to attend the launch this evening. Mr. McCarthy sends his sincere apologies and his best wishes to the club. We were aware since Monday that there may be a question mark over the President's attendance, and this morning Club Chairman received a phone call from the President explaining that he wouldn't be able to attend the launch as he had to return to his family in New York. Larry sends his best wishes to the club and he looks forward to a visit to Ballyhaunis at the earliest opportunity. So we now move on to this evening's speakers, and first of all our first speaker is the club chairperson, Jerry Lyons. Jerry has been a tireless worker on behalf of the club for as long as I can remember. I had the privilege of playing alongside Jerry for Ballyhaunis back in the 80s, and the commitment and the enthusiasm that he displayed on the pitch back then is still very evident in his current role as chairperson today. And no matter how often you pass by the pitch or you drop up to the pitch for a walk or a jog, Jerry will be here with a shovel or a paintbrush, and often assisted by his wife Anne. So Jerry is the kind of a chairperson who leads by example, and we're very lucky to have Jerry as Cathaoirleach of our club. And now that Anne has retired, I'm sure that she is looking forward to spending a lot more time up here with Jerry. So I call on club chairperson Jerry Lyons to say a few words.
Thanks very much, Tommy. It's embarrassing to hear some of them words, but anyway. Look, I'd like to continue to welcome Mary Prenti, who is the Development Officer with the County Board and also Secretary of the East Mayo Board. I'd like to welcome Martin Grogan, who is a Ballyhaunis man, but has given his life, I suppose, to Roger Casemans, and a great servant to the GAA at home and abroad. I'd like to welcome our nominated ambassadors to the club. None of them needs introductions, but Keith Higgins, you all know, Yvonne Byrne, Owen Collins, Aisling Tarpey, Declan Doyle and Jack Coyne. And I'd wish Jack Coyne the best of luck on Sunday week in the game against Tyrone, and I'm sure he'll do us all proud. I'd like to welcome the press, Mike Byrne, and I'd like to welcome Michael Cummins, and I think John Marley from Midwest Radio. I'm going to focus on the why. Why are we here today? Well, COVID-19 has a lot to do with why we're here today over the last number of years. So it has to change the way we have to fundraise. The same commitments in the clubs, such as mortgage payments, medical costs, affiliations and all that, still has to be met, whether we have the money or not. So we're now looking at upgrading our facilities for the benefit of our players and members, and we have an 8-point plan here, which some of it is to upgrade the ball alley, to develop a ball wall and astroturf area, a walking area for the players, families, parents, community. We have to replace the stand, and I guess at some stage we need to tarmac the rest of the car park. How we started, we probably, after a few executive meetings this year, we put a plan in place since May 21. The executive agreed that we process the fundraiser via, I suppose, a digital platform using Facebook and Instagram, mobile phones. So we've taken this route today. This project would not be in place only for the commitment and the hard-working subcommittee under the co-chairperson of Robbie Hurd and Noel Barrett. They have done fabulous work over the last few months, and I thank them for their efforts. And the secretary of our subcommittee, Anne Phillips, which surely kept us on our toes and made sure all the deadlines were met. Fabulous work on and off the field of play. Thanks very much, Anne. And I'd have to mention Tommy Caulfield, who has done a major amount of work on the history of the club, getting stuff organised, helping us to put the platform together, and thanks Tommy for that all that work. You're probably the PRO of the project, so thanks very much. And I can't leave out Brendan Donlan, who also made a major contribution to the project. So, in summarising, the result we hope here that we have is the launch of our draw. We are asking for the support of all the people at home and abroad. We should have a successful conclusion to the event and for the draw date, which is on the 7th of January 22, and we ask you all for your support. And I suppose last, I'd just like to acknowledge the Guard of Honour the kids did today and thank their coaches for organising it. And well done, lads and girls. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Jerry. Well done. Noel Barrett Colleran has been one of the principal driving forces behind the work that has gone into the launch this evening, and along, as Jerry explained, along with her joint chairperson Robbie Hare and their very efficient secretary Anne Phillips, who, as Jerry said, kept us all on our toes. Noel has put an immense amount of work into bringing us to this point. So well done, Noel and Anne and Robbie. And I'd like to acknowledge the work done by all three, and I'd like you to know and to publicly state that your ongoing efforts on behalf of Ballyhaunis GA are greatly appreciated. So I now call on Noel to say a few words. Noel Barrett, joint chair of the Monster Draw Committee. Noel will say a few words.
Hi everyone. I won't keep you long. I just would like to extend my welcome to all of the people, as already stated, and the kids today. Thanks everyone for showing up for the launch of our Monster Draw. It's been a work in progress and we hope it'll be a huge success. And we'd like to ask you to assist us in making this a success. We need people to share this. We need people to support it and get it out there amongst your friends, family, near and far, worldwide. Anyone can enter this draw. It is online. I'll just explain a small bit about the draw and then I'll leave the other speakers to it. So we've decided to launch this mainly online to reach as many people as we possibly can. And we've launched a website called winansuv.ie. It's on all the posters there today. We've hired a company to help us with promoting this online on the online platforms of Facebook and Instagram. And you will see paid advertisements that will be coming up on those platforms, as well as winansuv.ie is our main website for the draw. We will be selling tickets in the paper format for anyone that isn't technically minded or doesn't want to use the internet, and you just need to contact one of the club executive, Jerry or myself or Robbie or and any of the main people involved in the draw, and we look after you for paper tickets. We're hoping to have the draw on the 7th of January, and if we have sold out earlier than that, we will hold the draw earlier. So get sharing, get liking, and get selling these tickets for us so we can sell out early. And for the first week from now until 12 midnight on the 8th of September, we're doing a bonus draw for anyone who buys a ticket between now and then. Will be entered into a draw to win 2 All-Ireland final tickets. So it is a good incentive to get your ticket early this week. So that's all. Thanks everyone for coming, and please help us to help the club. Thank you.
Great stuff, Noel. Thanks very much. Our next speaker needs no introduction. Keith Higgins has always been very generous with his time, and I know that Keith lends his support to very many worthy projects and charities. And Ballyhaunis GA is grateful to Keith for agreeing to act as one of the ambassadors of our draw, along with Jack Coyne, Aisling Tarpey, Owen Collins, Yvonne Byrne and Declan Doyle. So Ballyhaunis GA would like to take this opportunity now to publicly congratulate Keith on his retirement from inter-county football after a stellar career as a peerless footballer who proudly wore the green and red jersey for many years. And Keith, of course, continues to represent his club with passion. And just last month, Keith captained the Mayo Hurlers to the Nicky Rackard success in Croke Park. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, our own Keith Higgins.
Thanks very much for the introduction, Tommy. So, look, again, I would keep it very short and sweet. I suppose just to reiterate a few points Noel and Jerry have already made. I think it's probably everyone is well aware of the struggles that most sporting organisations have faced over the last 18 months in relation to funding and fundraising. So I think everyone just needs to acknowledge, I suppose, the work that's been put into this draw, put into the development plan, that'll hopefully take the club forward over the next number of years. So I suppose from my point of view, and I suppose speaking on behalf of the rest of the ambassadors, we would just really like to encourage, especially the players, the senior players, male and female in the club, to really try and drive this on. When we see the plans that are there, they're going to benefit future players, future generations, and hopefully there'll be a big impact on them in the years to come. So again, just like Noel said, I would just urge everyone to get behind it, to push it and promote it as much as we can, because ultimately it's going to be a benefit for the club and for the future generations. So again, thanks very much for everyone, and hopefully it'll be a great success. So, thanks.
Thank you, Keith. Ballyhaunis GA is honoured this evening to have with us the chairman of the Mayo County Board, Liam Moffat. So thanks, Liam, for coming along this evening and lending your support. Liam will say a few words. Thank you, Liam.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Mayo GA, I'd like to thank you very much for the invite. It's a great honour to be here. It's also fabulous the way that you're embracing fundraising. Fundraising is a challenging task, no matter where or when or how you do it. But to see the mixed approach, the blended approach, is really, really encouraging. It sets an example to everybody. I think the comments that were made about using those online platforms, as we all know, is the way to go. And I wish everyone the best of luck with it. We're all here about games development. That is the vision of the GEA. And without facilities and without people like your good selves, that vision cannot become a reality. So we're certainly behind you. The very best of luck. And I hope and have no doubt it will be an outstanding success. Thank you.
Thank you, Liam. And now it's a great honour to call on the Secretary of the Connacht Council, John Prenti, to say a few words to launch the draw this evening. And while we don't have the current GA President, we have the future GA President here, John Prenti.
It's a great honour to be representing the President. I don't know whether I met him on the way up or the way down, but anyway, I definitely wouldn't be here only for, in 1978, I went to my first ever GA meeting. A well-known GA man in the town told me if I went for a chair, he'd give me all the help he could. And in fairness to him, in my time there, he gave me all the help he could, which was nothing, but at least he stood to his word. Look, it's a great honour to come here to Ballyhaunis in particular to help launch this major fundraising draw. I know if the President was here, he would be saying that the new strategy of the association, which is about to be launched in the next few months, is completely and absolutely focused on club players, club development, and getting as many kids like we have here and adults up like Keith and Owen Collins and lads like that, as many of those playing our games as possible. That's going to be our new focus, playing our games, getting our players prepared properly to play those games, and I'm glad to see that Ballyhaunis are moving in a direction where they will be putting facilities in place to help us meet that goal in the near future. From a kind of council point of view, I look forward to working with the club, with their development plan and with Mayo County Board, and making sure that the plan is fully examined and launched properly and meets all the targets and the guidelines of the association that are before us in the future. It's a very, very challenging time for the association at club level with Garda vetting, child safeguarding, all those kind of things that are now legally the law of the land, not the law of the association. So we have a lot of challenges to meet in the coming months in particular for that, and I suppose for affiliations for 2022 we probably will have to meet all those challenges day one, and you cannot affiliate unless you have all the boxes ticked. Again, the GA get blamed for a lot of things, but that is the law of the land now. I'd like to wish Jack Coyne well, and I'm sure you're all looking forward here to see Sam Maguire coming back from Crow Park around Christmas, or maybe for the launch of the draw. He'll probably be there until then. But COVID will at least release it at that stage somewhere, and I have no doubt that it'll come to Ballyhaunis, and I wish Jack and Liam and all the county board well in the next few weeks in particular. I know the county board have a major task in putting a quart into a pint bottle with tickets, but that's the way it is. Unfortunately, the most recent announcement of what you can increase your capacity and stuff like that, that's really a bottle of smoke, because we cannot put 70% of the tickets in on sale, as they're saying. It's impossible for the GA, because if we were to check the COVID cert for everybody that's going to Crow Park, we'd want to probably start next Thursday. We'd probably have them in by the time the game starts on Saturday. So it's a bottle of smoke. More than today saying we can increase the capacity to 1,100 more tickets, which basically is about maximum 2 tickets per club. So there's a lot of challenges out there. Again, I wish the county board well, and as I said, it's a great honour. I wish to congratulate the club on the work they've done. Ballyhaunis GA Club has always been at the forefront of development in the association of Mayo, going back to day one. Their facilities here at the minute are second to none, with their dressing rooms, complex and their pitch. But I think there's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of funding to be raised, and it's a great honour for me to be here this evening to launch the draw. The other thing I'll say is that I'm glad to see that Liam Rochford is providing the car. I know that those cars can do a half an hour in about 20 minutes. So as I said, it's a great honour to be asked to launch the draw. As I again apologise for the absence of the President. He genuinely cannot be here for family reasons, and I know he's very disappointed he cannot, but I suppose when we went 3 or 4 county towns in the next couple of months, that he could be back in town to present the medals rather than maybe put the ticket over the draw. So again, congratulations, well done, and I offer you my full support.
Thanks, John. We have another very special guest up here this evening, Martin Grogan from Clare Street. And like so many of our club members around the world, Mart has done great work flying the flag, the GA flag in England, keeping the flag flying, particularly in Warwickshire and with the famed Roger Caseman's club. And of course, Ballyhaunis has very long links with the Caseman's club in Coventry. We've made many memorable trips over to Coventry down the years. I suppose the links go back to the time, maybe the 70s. The time of the Minister, Micheál de Waldraha, Sean Waldron, Bernard Waldron, the Meehans, and of course Bernard Kane and family. So we're delighted to welcome Mart Grogan back here this evening to his home club. And we have a presentation. I'm going to ask Robbie Herr to present Mart with, I suppose, an iconic Mayo gift. It's a Foxford blanket in the Mayo colours. And on that fateful night in 1951, when Sean Flanagan arrived back in Foxford, we saw signs of the budding politician when he addressed the crowds, and he said that the only thing warmer than a Foxford blanket is a Foxford welcome. So we have a Foxford blanket there to keep Mort warm in the coming winter. Great. Thanks very much. So that brings proceedings to a close. All we have to do now is to shift 15,000 tickets. Our Monster Draw website and the associated Facebook page is now live and it's up and running, and tickets, I believe, are selling like hot buns. So please remember to share the link with your family and friends on social media. And remember, if you do purchase a ticket in the next week, you'll be included in a special draw for 2 All-Ireland tickets. So I'd now like to invite everyone to join us for some refreshments. Enjoy the beautiful evening while being mindful of public health guidelines and maintaining social distance, and keep yourself and your friends safe and healthy. So, Gurmila Bhagav Galir, Ballyhaunis Abu.
We're here in Ballyhaunis GA Club this evening. It's the end of the summer, but it's the start of a 5-year plan here in Ballyhaunis, starting probably 2022 to 26. And I'm here in the presence of Tommy Caulfield. I'm not sure what his exact position is in the GA Club, but if I was ever coming to Ballyhaunis and I want to know anything about Ballyhaunis GA, the first man I'd send somebody to was Tommy. So Tommy's here with us this evening. Have you actually a position in the GA Club?
Yeah, general dog's body.
Okay, okay.
Actually, I'm one of the trustees, along with Tommy Grogan and Hugh Rudden. Yeah.
Okay.
At present, that's my current title. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't want to emphasise your age or anything like that, but
Yeah.
your memory would go back a long way in the club, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I see yourself, Martin, you're tugged out in the Ballyhaunis colours with your initials there. I think that's from the under-14 final back in the 60s.
1860s?
Yeah, yeah. But no more than yourself, Martin, we've a long association with the club. Yeah. But if you want to go further back, I suppose shortly after the foundation of the organisation in Thurles in 1884, a few short years after that, I think it was about 1889, the first club was formed here in Ballyhaunis under the official title of Ballyhaunis St Patrick's.
Okay.
And
that's after St Patrick's Church, is it?
I suppose, yeah, okay. St Patrick's Church. There's one, Westport currently are called Westport St Patrick's, but that's the official title as far as I know, Ballyhaunis St Patrick's Club.
Okay.
Yeah. And the club, you know, went and grew, and I think captured our first county senior title. We haven't too many of them, but the first one was in 1918, and the most recent one was before our time, 1958.
Okay.
Great players like Johnny Beastie and John Dillon. And
we're still here.
Still knocking around, yeah. We've had a lot of success, underage success. We've had a few, 3, I think, intermediate titles. And of course, we can't leave out the hurlers who have had great success in Mayo as well. So that's a quick rundown. I suppose we weren't always here. As you look around this evening, you see a beautiful pitch. The pitch is in great shape. The facilities are great. But it always hasn't been that way. Martin, we started up on the Clare Road, where there was no dressing rooms, and we tugged out on the side of the road. And before
like
that,
the Irish ladies at the minute.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. We tugged out on the side of the road. Before that, there was a pitch in Tourary, Prentice Field. They played in Clagna. And they've had a number of homes around the town before we finally came here, I believe, in 1971. Okay. So,
and was this Prentice Field?
No, I'm not sure who the actual owner was, but the committee bought it. And again, it seems like a steal if we look at the price. I think it was something like a couple of £1,000 at the time for the purchase of the thing, which goes from the Knock Road right up there to the ditch, which is up in Gurchin. But even though it's in great shape, we have, we're not going to rest on our laurels, and we're going to try and improve things. And as you were saying, the purpose of this evening is to launch the draw as a fundraiser to finance the 5-year plan, starting 2022 in a couple of months' time and going on to 2026. And I suppose the main things in the plan would be as you can see, we're in the old stand, and it's in need of a bit of work, and we're hoping to complete a new structure with seating. As mentioned earlier, a lot of people come up every day and walk around the pitch, but I suppose there's only so many laps of the pitch you can do before you get dizzy. So there's plans now to extend the walk around the pitch to cover the entire perimeter of the club grounds. Out the front you have the car park, and we hope to tarmac the car park and to put down some lines for proper parking, to enhance the entrance to the clubhouse and the grounds, to create over there AstroTurf. So plenty of holes for the money.
When you talk about AstroTurf over here, are you on about a track?
No, AstroTurf for training. A small
okay.
training pitch.
Isn't there words of a track as well? Some kind of a
yes,
track?
there's a running track being completed as well over there. It's for the likes of yourself, Martin, and other marathon men.
And marathon women?
And women, and hopefully to encourage more of us to get involved. And I suppose to bring the community up, because every day you come up here, there's people walking around, and they're welcome to come up. And I suppose to make, after all, it is a community-based organisation.
Isn't the GA an incredible organisation? I was watching Tommy Tiernan the other night, and he had a guy on from, I don't know, was he Afghanistan? And he's played hurling in Leitrim. And he reckoned it was the making of him. They came over from I think it was Afghanistan. There was oil fields burning, and they got asylum over here in Ireland, and he ended up in some village in the back end of Leitrim.
You're right. I suppose that's the thing about the GA, Martin. It's a global organisation, and we alluded to it earlier. Ballyhaunis, like every other town in the country, has had an immigrant experience, and our immigrants have gone to the four corners of the world and spreading the gospel of the GA as they went. We mentioned the close association with the Casements Club in England, Tony Green in New York, and I suppose currently over in Malaysia we have Jonathan Cleary doing great work, spreading the gospel over in Malaysia.
And there was one of the Canes in England, wasn't
Bernard Kane, of course, along with so many others. The minister and all the Wardren lads from Cave, they were very involved with the Casements Club in England. And Bernard became the chairperson in Warwickshire GA, and ultimately chairperson of the GA in Great Britain. And of course, Ballyhaunis, as the most ethnically diverse town in Ireland, we have an open door policy, and we welcome everybody up to our pitch or Norris Igoni Aroskelch. So everybody welcome up here at any time. And we have a very welcoming and inclusive environment.
The other thing that's incredible is, like, I'm not sure how many teams are here, but when you look at the kids here this evening for the parade,
pageant,
you have every underage, under 8, 10, 12, boys, girls, hurling, football, junior ladies started recently.
That's right,
have any idea how many the actual teams are?
Yeah, well, Ballyhaunis is a dual club, as you mentioned. We have hurling and football and ladies football, and we cater for teams, as you saw the youngsters there, starting at about under 6, right up to senior men and women. I suppose membership, we have maybe 400 paid members, and we have an All-Ireland ticket for every one of them.
And the other,
more of that anon.
The other, I suppose, great thing, we're primarily an intermediate club, would say, as such, most of the time. And still we seem to pull out county players. Like in my lifetime, we had the David Nestor, we had Tony Marley, we had Keith Higgins. Now we have Jack Coyne on the panel at the minute. Like it's incredible what we've achieved, isn't it?
Yeah, we've had some great players in the past, and I suppose the earliest players I can go back to in the 60s, we had Tom Fitzgerald, the great J.J. Cribben, Ted Webb, the Lord of Mercy in him, who sadly died at a very young age in 1976, Tony Marley, Fergal Kelly, Tommy Grogan, the list is endless, and as you say, Keith, of course, and up to the present day, David Nestor. I'm probably leaving out a few other super players. David Nestor, David Fitzgerald as well, and Jack, of course, currently on the Mayo panel, Jack Coyne.
And it's, you only heard this evening, I think I heard it before as well, that would say in his time Jack Coyne was looking up to Keith Higgins when he was a young lad growing up.
He was, of course,
And that's what it's about, really.
But Jack is only a young lad. He's only 20. You know, it's only a few short years since he was playing for the Borden and Og teams, under 14, under 16. and showed great promise as a young player, and great to see him making it onto the senior panel. So the best of luck to Jack. Yeah.
Exactly. So look at, I think we've covered a good bit there this evening in a
Yeah,
brief, and there's a good bit of stuff covered from earlier on as well. So we might just ask Noel to say a few words about the draw coming up.
All right, Martin, okay.
And thank you, Tom. Thanks
No
for joining
bother.
us this evening. Okay, we just had Tommy Caulfield there from Ballyhaunis GA Club, and we're just going to have a quick word with Noel Barrett. I'm not sure, you're still Noel Barrett, yeah?
Yes, still
Yes.
Noel Barrett.
Okay. And Noel, of course, originally comes from Devlis and Ballyhaunis, and like many people who have left Ballyhaunis down the years, she's never forgotten her roots, and she's stayed in contact with the club and the county. I had to meet her at all the different matches down the years, everywhere. But your big job this evening really was to launch the draw. You might just tell us a bit about the draw that's taking place at the moment.
Yeah, so I suppose we came together and we formed a committee back in the early part of the year, maybe in January, and we were working towards trying to do a big fundraiser that would benefit the club, and as Tommy said earlier, to do some of these projects that have been on the cards, but unfortunately the finances were not available. So we went to executives meetings and we got the go-ahead to let's do something big. So we set up a committee and we've been working tirelessly to try and organise what is before you today. So we've come up with the idea of doing a monster draw, a monster raffle, and our top prize is a Seat Tarraco, which Liam Rochford has kindly displayed and got involved, and the prize will be purchased off Liam if the winner decides to go with the car. We are also offering the cash alternative, so if whoever wins this prize will have the option to pick either the car or the €50,000 cash. So that's, I suppose, something we hope will appeal to people, that it's not, you can only have the car. So we've decided that we're launching the draw this evening. The website winansuv.ie has gone live since this morning, and our Facebook and Instagram posts are out there now, and they're promoting the draw, and hopefully it'll reach all corners of Ireland and also the world. We're selling the tickets at €25 for one ticket, 3 tickets for €70 and 5 tickets for €100. So there is a bit of a discount the more that you buy. All monies raised will go towards the club. We're hoping to sell 15,000 tickets, and we're hoping to have the draw for the car on the 7th of January 2022. Obviously, if the tickets sell out prior to that, we will move that draw forward, but we'll just have to wait and see how it's going. But so far today, thankfully, people are engaging with it, and we are selling a few tickets, so keep it up.
Brilliant. And would say that's the main source of the tickets is the online. They're not on sale kind of in shops or anything like that.
So we've decided to do the majority of sales online if we can. We do have paper tickets, and we are going to sell to people who aren't comfortable buying online, or maybe not able to buy online for whatever reason. We don't want to exclude anybody. So if somebody did want to buy a paper ticket, we will have them in some of the local shops around the town and some of the licensed premises. We just don't have them in them today, but in the next 2 or 3 days we will have them in there, and anyone can contact any of the club officers here, so myself or Tommy or Tomas Murphy or Jerry, if they want. I've also put posters up in most shops today displaying my mobile number, so if somebody goes into a shop and the tickets are not available, they can ring me and I will make contact with them and make sure they get a ticket.
The one thing I can say is that I got the text this morning to announce the draw was going to be launched today. I clicked in the button straight away, bought the ticket. There was no problem, name, address, email address. There was an awful lot of things you have to log on and register all this crack. There was none of that crack. So I'm not trying to flog something here, but I have to say it was the simplest draw I've ever entered. And the other thing I think is important is that the price you've fixed it at, it's very affordable. And I'm not running down, there's some fantastic draws there for houses and all kinds of things. And they're kind of £100, a lot of them. And it's not easy kind of just say, I'll £100, but like at £25, I think it's very affordable. And I can say from my own experience today of buying tickets was a very simple process.
And I suppose that is something we thought about, and we didn't want to make the tickets too expensive, but at the same time they need to be a certain price, because we're giving away a vehicle worth €50,000 or €50,000 cash. So we have to make that money in ticket sales in order to be able to give it away. So that's why we set the tickets at €25, but we did the multiples. So if somebody wants to spend 100, they're technically getting one ticket free, because if they were to buy 4 25s, it's 100. So that's something we did look in. We have employed the services of Aidan Spence from Donegal to run the website for us, and he has created the platform, and we've tried to keep it as simple as possible, because like that, you don't want to be going in and having to give reams of information. No. So it is name, address, phone number, email address, and you pay, and you'll get your receipt to your email with your ticket number. We've tried to keep it simple as possible, but again, people are afraid of the internet, so paper format is available for anyone who
Well, the only thing I can say is that I was actually busy today, but when I got the text, I just went in, and I've often gone into these things in the past, and you get bogged down in all kinds of stuff. And I just went in today, I had about 2 minutes, and just said, I'll have a look. And I ticket bought within seconds. So look at it, it's very simple. Yeah. Just go yourself, would say in your own time, did you ever play football, would say, in your own past?
No, not since I was a small child here playing for up here in Ballyhaunis, but no.
But at the time you'd have played, there was no ladies team?
There was no ladies team, no. So we would have been up here playing with the boys, and then kind of just been at the sideline for the boys. I suppose from my generation, Yvonne Byrne probably would have been the only one who progressed on to playing hurling with Ballyhaunis with the boys, and then with the Mayo senior ladies, and she did quite successfully with them. So no, I never followed her footsteps. I stayed on the sideline, and I support her, and I be here for Ballyhaunis and Mayo J.
Yeah, because I have to say, we'd often meet at the sideline of a lot of these matches, and we great race of people at Mayo that have still the hope and the faith that we're going to do it.
Yeah. Oh, look, I don't think we'll ever give that up unless we do it. And this is the year.
This is our year, I think.
This is the year. I say it every year, but this is the year.
I know. Well, look at Noel. Thanks for taking the time out to talk to us this evening. And I have to say, I think Adam caught the views of the pitch earlier on, but it looks actually absolutely pristine this evening. It looks lovely and perfect even for the launch. And I hope you or we manage to hit 15,000. And I just encourage anybody to grab one, or grab a share in one even, or whatever. And they're very affordable, very easy access. So look at get online and get a hold of some. So thanks, Noel.
Thank you.
And good luck with the draw.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Oh, we've been waiting for so long to find the perfect team. 62 long years living on a dream. Oh, but this time things are different. That's what Andy says. They've been training day and night, and they've kept such level heads. Oh, we're bringing Sammy back home to the west. I'll get my heart, James Horan, tattooed across my chest. I'll ask the barber to give me an Aidan O'Shea, and even Joe Bronny, oh, he'll say Mayo for Sam.
I think Mayo will win the All-Ireland. I think they're ready now.